Before I start this video, I wanted to apologize to Romeo because in the Modern Furnace video, I kind of bashed him really hard, and that was not the intention. I kind of just did that because I thought it was funny. I understand some people don't think that is funny. My idea of humor is being toxic because I make fun of the people who I pretend to be as, if that makes sense. So I hate toxic people a lot, and I pretend to be them because I think it's funny. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Romeo. That wasn't the intention. I just thought it would be pretty funny for some stuff I said. Hope you can understand that and forgive me. And now I'll talk about Modern Prey in a more professional manner. Although still don't expect it to be too serious because my personality won't let me to make something fully serious. And with that out of the way, let's begin with the video. Hello friends, I am back once again to talk about Modern Furnace again because I think the previous video I made on this character was pretty fucking bad, and I look kind of like a dick just insulting Romeo and his work, and yeah, it was pretty rough. Hopefully this time I can get the message across that I wanted to originally, but I ended up portraying it wrong because I am, well, a stinky boy who doesn't know how to communicate properly. Let's start first off with playing Modern Furnace. Playing Modern Prey. This video is unscripted if you can't tell. Play Modern Prey so we can get the message, dude, it's so fucking hard without a script, I swear. So we can understand the story, alright? I know this is outdated. Romeo said it's outdated on Twitter, but I just want to say the stuff that's my issue with it and why it doesn't work, because this way we can address for Romeo not to make these mistakes in the future. Alright, let's get started. Stage 666, dude, it's fucking scary. I'm gonna shit myself. Oh my god. Hey, buddy. What's that over there? Whoa! That's a cool shot, though, I can't lie.
Hey, watch it! You might hurt someone!
The doctor has ordered me to eliminate you for his hilarious satisfaction. You will not leave my side alive.
Very good voice acting that I love.
I've been waiting for somebody new to show up, especially from old Robotnik himself.
Bring it on! Yo, you will not skewer me. You will not skewer me. Headbutt! Headbutt! Ooh. If I headbutt you again, you're gonna get hit again. Oh, this OST is tough. Oh, I didn't realize how close he got. Oh, fuck. Okay. But yeah, this OST is very tough. Holy shit. Okay. I suck at this game. Be right back.
You might hurt someone.
Fuck, dude. Fucking worst Sonic player of all time decides to criticize Modern Prey. Get out of there, dude. Get out of there, man. Yay.
See you around, Tin Can.
Let's get going. Whoa! What's over here?
Whoa, what is this place?
Oh, there's no rings?
What the?
Fuck.
You're not Eggman. Or are you?
I knew my finest creation would not have been enough to take you down. You're always finding ways to escape your inevitable fate.
Sound look like Robotnik, but a lot more raspier and old.
You mean what you did to me?
Fun bug.
You left me caught in an explosion. I was stranded on that island for weeks, desperate for food and water because of you.
So this implies, like Eggman just said, Sonic made Eggman stranded on an island. After oh fuck, okay, there was another phase going.
What is this place?
Let's come back. All right.
Satisfying my newfound hunger of having you and everyone you love for dinner.
You've lost it, Eggman. I'm sorry for leaving you out like that, but won't you hurt anybody else?
So this implies that Eggman was stranded on an island desperate for food and water, and that is how he manifested him becoming a starved Eggman and gaining this, oh fuck me. Dude, okay, well. Oh, there we go. It's over, Egghead! Whoa. That's tough as hell, by the way.
No matter how many times we meet,
I will not fail!
no more running. Come now.
Again, he's cool. He's really cool.
Fear? Don't make me laugh. It's not but you I commission, you rust bucket.
Pico ST, by the way. Oh my god. You're so old, the silver lining. That's not nice, man. Why would you want to do that? Oh, come on, really? One thing I don't like about this boss fight is that you just really need to run in circles and he is done for. I mean, oh, he's blue now. That's his overheat form, I think.
Battle is here, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Not yet. What I think this is supposed to imply, because Romeo said this earlier on Twitter, Sonic beats a Modern Furnace easily at this point. Or kind of just dog walks him. Which I guess it makes sense, if that's the case. But it does not make sense for the part that comes after this. Nuh-uh. Yay! And now we get out of here.
That was fun, but I got a redhead on the loose. See ya!
Yep. Don't mind the rank. I just kind of shuck. You found that pretty funny. All right. Now, let's move on. All right. I made another PowerPoint presentation because the other one kind of sucked, so I just remade it. My criticism on Modern, Starved, and Furnace. Pros for Furnace. He has a really cool model design, same thing. Has an amazing voice actor. Moff, you're actually so fucking goated. He sounds so cool. He really sounds cool.
Pathetic.
Has one of the coolest concepts ever for a Metal Sonic variant. Fire powers always, and I mean always, rock if done right. For example, like Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. You can just like look at other characters in fiction and how they use fire powers and implement these to this character. Even though I see this guy more as like a Genos type fighter, if that makes sense. Utilize the strategy instead of brute force for some foes he can't outright overpower, which is actually so cool. I would much rather a character who tries to understand the weaknesses of characters and what the fuck? Okay, I don't know why that happened. And tries to exploit them as much as possible, because that's just cool, you know? It's not ooga booga, I overpower you. But then again, this needs to be done right. It's not like he can just instantly learn, oh, so that's your weakness. Alright, yeah, I got it. Let's move on to Starved. Pros for Starved Eggman. Extremely unique design. A lot of potential to be scary due to his 300 IQ combined with his insanity and want for Mobian / animal flesh. You have to understand, the original idea for Starved Eggman is actually so like good, scary. It could happen, but the whole flicky thing where he just eats it and then becomes this is kind of stupid. It seems like a joke. Him and Furnace being able to interact with each other has a lot of opportunity to be able to create some very cool and interesting dialogue, because they can have this like back and forth always. Be like, Master, I want to cook this Mobian / animal. Should I go out for it? And then Eggman or something's like, no, not yet. I want to preserve them for later. Something like that. Negatives for Furnace. Him having an IQ feat in general and it being fucking 900, dude. Thankfully, this has been removed because holy shit, this was so stupid. Eggman making a creation that is 3 times smarter than him would not happen because Eggman's ego would not allow this. Eggman has lost fights because of his skyrocketing ego. I do not think that he would come to a point where he has to accept the fact that he has to make something smarter than him. I think he could. It is very possible. But Eggman just wouldn't do that because his arrogance, you underestimate how arrogant this character is. He literally has himself on like every screen ever in Studio Paulus, I think, and other stages as well, but that's the only one I can think of as of right now. He has no personality, but shows clear signs of arrogance, individuality, and maybe some fear of being replaced, destroying Metal Sonic variants, albeit very situational. So, this character, like we just saw in Modern Prey, has some really cool quotes, arrogance, like, I will not fail, or confidence, you could say that as well. But Romeo said that he has no personality or individuality to him. It's kind of weird because you can make this character have personality because Metal Sonic has personality. And I'm sure that's why people like Metal Sonic, because he's not just one of Eggman's henchmen. He actually has some character to him. Like, you know, trying to kill Sonic and replace him because that's in his coding. I feel like you can definitely make this character have personality and embrace it, and it would be cooler that way, rather than just, oh, one of Eggman's mindless servants. The way he kills Sonic just feels like it wouldn't happen, because Sonic would not get caught off guard if he didn't get caught off guard at the beginning of Modern Prey. And also probably be able to hear him because he's blasting at full speed. I understand a lot of people on Twitter say sneak merchant and stuff like that. I can understand if he tries to ambush Sonic because Sonic is just a lot stronger than him. Again, something I think Romeo said. But the way it happens is it just doesn't feel right. We can see at the beginning of Modern Prey that Sonic dodges Furnace because he was able to hear him. And then at that point, he is entirely fully on guard, even though he is confident and quippy.
You might hurt someone.
Sonic does not become stupid. It kind of feels weird to make a character stupid for the sake of the plot. I mean, you can do what you want, but I'm just saying some stuff I feel like it's just, you know, it could make a more terrifying character, more interesting, more compelling. You don't need to make the character stupid for the sake of this character being really smart and really powerful. You can just think of various ways to make this character exploit the other character's weaknesses. Because I am sure Sonic would not be off guard at the ending of Modern Prey because he is still in Eggman's empire, and when you destroy Furnace or beat him, he just kind of vanishes. It's not like he's turned into scrap. It's not like he's laying there, you know, turned off, motionless, whatever. So I'm sure what happens at that point is Furnace gets heavily damaged and then he just fucking dips because he doesn't want to be destroyed. Which is fine. It makes sense. But it doesn't make sense to me that Furnace going at full speed ahead of Sonic was not able to be heard. But he was heard at the beginning of Modern Prey. Like in the original story, it kind of made sense because Sonic was fighting starved and Furnace came in front of him and then just kind of mauled him. Destroyed him, you know, just killed him. Fucking, you know? Oh my god, I need help. I'll talk more about this character later. I'm gonna move on to Starved. He is overly reliant on Furnace when Eggman always, and I mean always, tries to steal the show. He is always, and I mean always, everywhere if he is the main villain of the game. Now you might say, oh, but he is the main villain in every game. Not every game. Like for example, Sonic Adventure 1 is just, you know, perfect chaos. Or just chaos in general, not perfect chaos. That's a form. Made Furnace stronger than Metal Sonic, which in my opinion doesn't make sense because Eggman always, and I mean always, wanted to kill Sonic. Being hungry does not equal smarter. Metal Sonic was made to rival and surpass Sonic, but he failed because he was a machine. He wasn't an organic being like Sonic is. So I feel like Furnace and Metal Sonic would be on par with each other, which is something I saw on Twitter Romeo state, so I'm glad. And plus, as the story goes, Eggman himself evolves and gets better at making creations. He doesn't outright just instantly lock the fuck in. He's like, alright, I'm gonna make a character that is 3 arcs stronger than other people. It's like, okay, man, so is he just gonna bully toddlers? Fucking bully children, bully middle schoolers? Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that's a really big gripe I have with the character. You can showcase throughout the story how Eggman himself also evolves as a genius. As a mad genius in this case. As he's upgrading Furnace, thinking of new ideas to implement to him. Like making him be able to, how to explain this? Use his flight to his advantage more. Rather than just like fly forward, fly back. You have a lot of opportunity to make this character work and make him cool. And plus, I feel like this character should be more, if you want, you can make Furnace have more screen time. But I feel like in reality, Eggman would just try to steal all the spotlight he could. Being stranded on an island, desperate for food and water, but in Sonic 2 the movie, he was stranded on the Mushroom Planet for months. A lot worse to be honest. And came out still the exact same. I'm sure Eggman will find his way around food and water. Especially on an island. He can eat the berries, he can always fish. And if he's on an island, there's always like the seawater. I'm not saying he would drink it because it's full of salt. But I'm sure Eggman would be able to like, oh man, I don't know how you say that word. Because English isn't my first language. Like he gets this bucket of water and he manages like to filter out all the salt from that water that he got from the sea, and then he drinks that. I'm sure he would be able to do that because he was able to drink the juices from the mushrooms on that mushroom planet in Sonic 2. I'm not saying Sonic 2 the movie is canon to the games, but it definitely displays the characters' personalities, their intelligence, and just like it perfectly captures what the character is, even though it's like an alternate timeline. That's why I think that idea for Eggman becoming starved just does not make sense. Alright, so some changes I want for Furnace. You can have him lurk in the shadows alongside Starved to analyze and learn the fighting patterns of Sonic and his friends. Although at this point it's Sonic CD, so Sonic is alone. But Romeo did say that this story will go on after Sonic CD. Like for example, when a confrontation happens, Starved and Furnace will always be there because Eggman needs to have his face on the screen. But when it's not a confrontation and Sonic and everyone else is kind of just chilling, I can imagine Eggman spying on him with one of his drones. And then Sonic is just running around Green Hill, whatever. And then Eggman uses that data of Sonic's speed running to implement it to Furnace. So Furnace gets a rough idea on how fast Sonic can be. After that, he learns the weaknesses each of them have and make him exploit them as much as he can due to him fighting dirty. Maybe he utilizes Sonic's protective nature to shoot a fireball or something at a Mobian or animal that is observing the fight to distract Sonic, and then he just uses that to his advantage to, catch Sonic. Tails, for example, is watching the fight. I don't know how you would end up there because I'm pretty sure it's Little Planet. But it's an idea, man. Or Amy, yeah, Amy too. Amy could work. They're watching the fight, and then Furnace just like goes to rush down Amy, but Sonic tries to like stop him and jumps in the way. And Furnace knows that Sonic is gonna do this because of his protective nature, so he heats up a lot the very last second. So if Sonic tries to hit him back, he gets burnt. Not in the sense of that instantly kills him, but it damages him heavily and it slows him down. And then Furnace gets a heavy advantage from that. So it's more of like an actual fight where Furnace just does everything he possibly can to his advantage so he can beat Sonic, rather than just like how people say sneaking him. Make him be able to utilize his moveset and flight to his advantage, rather than just overpowering his opponent. Example, shoot a few fire blasts that linger and then rush down the enemy. Yeah, that's what I talked about a little bit ago. Like for example, he creates these, it probably wouldn't work because of how the character is built, but firewalls, if that makes sense. And then he runs over to Sonic and he fights him. Or flies over to Sonic, and then he fights him. And Sonic can't just run around everywhere because he's trapped in this like firewall. And that gives also Furnace an advantage. Again, that probably wouldn't work because Sonic would definitely find his way around that. But again, just make this character fight dirty. He does not care for honor or respect or stuff like that. Eggman never cared about any of that. Also, I fucking hate Lost Worlds. I hate Lost Worlds a lot. One more thing I feel like you could do for Furnace is have Furnace be a perfectionist, if that makes sense. So he always tries to cook the Mobians or animals just right. Just right for Eggman, because he wants to please his master as much as he can due to him being a servant. And Romeo stating that there is no rebellious nature to Furnace. So he feels like he always has to make his master happy as much as he can. And that's like a thing this character goes through. It could be like an oncurring joke. He's like, damn it, fuck, I cooked it too hard again. Or damn it, I didn't cook it enough. Master's gonna be angry now. Fuck! He's gonna throw me away. Let's move on. Changes I want for Starved Eggman. shows Starve getting more and more desperate and making rash decisions because being hungry actually does lead to desperation. For example, he upgrades Furnace's flight speed, jet boosters, whatever, but he doesn't focus on the material or how high quality the flight is, and then it just randomly at one point in the fight breaks apart. This does not mean that Furnace is going to lose that fight, it just means it gives him a handicap, so it's more fair for everyone. And Starved is realizing stuff like this. She's like, oh fuck dude, I have to focus more. But that depends on what approach Romeo is going for him. If he's gonna just make him hungrier and hungrier as time goes on, or if he's just gonna make him as hungry as he was at the beginning of the story. Give him an actual good reason to become starved, because the old one feels like it just doesn't make any sense. Maybe an experiment gone wrong or something. Eggman tried to enhance his body in some way and he fucked up, and that is the cause of it. I feel like you could do something like that, and it probably would work because Eggman is always trying to one-up Sonic in anything he can. At some point he realizes that after all the Mobians are consumed, he will have nothing left, so he decides to go after humans as well, which would make him a worldwide threat and give him a reason to be feared by everyone. I feel like this idea makes the character a lot scarier and more of an actual threat, rather than just, oh yeah, go my Furnace, hunt down every Mobian ever, and then he eats all of them, right? In this bad ending, he just kills all of them. What now? Then there's no one to stop him from conquering the world. But what Eggman wanted to do was make a whole like metallic planet, if I recall, or just a city. I can't remember, I'm sorry. So I feel like he wouldn't care about any humans at all and how they would turn out, because he believes he's so much better than them in every way. Again, his arrogance coming into play. And because he feels as if humans are useless to him, he can use them to satisfy his hunger, which is never going to happen because he's always going to be stuck in this cycle of being starved. And I feel like that should be what's eating away at him. Yeah, I know, I said that, eating away at him, and he is starved. He's always eating. Dude, oh my god. Writing is insane, bro. Let's move on. A bright future is ahead of us. Romeo is making some awesome changes that myself and hopefully a lot of people like this one, for example. Furnace not having an IQ and he is just smart. Thank you. You can make this character smart and showcase that throughout the entirety of the story. You do not need feats. Giving a character feats is really bad in my opinion, because then power scalers come in and then everything just becomes dog shit. And no one likes power scalers. Let's be for real. Prey is being remade to make more sense and not a cop-out. Yeah, because really it's kind of just like the same story of the legacy version, except worse because Sonic doesn't get distracted. He just becomes brain dead at the end and then dies. So I'm glad this is being changed as well. It really needs to happen. Furnace vs. Metal Sonic is a close battle that either character could win, depending on the scenario. Thank you so much, because like I said before, Eggman wouldn't make a creation better than the previous one at the same point in time. So them being completely on par with each other in terms of power makes complete sense. Because before, Furnace was stated to be stronger than Metal Sonic, albeit slightly. It is kind of stupid, because again, Eggman wouldn't make something better at that point in time. It's not like he just became hungry and then locked the fuck in and made this Goku robot, 900 IQ. He destroys everyone. He's stronger than everyone. He's smarter than everyone. He has no weaknesses, you know? Stuff like that. I feel like you could implement some of these features, but Eggman has to make such an insane discovery that is actually, and I mean actually, so good for him. Modern Starve backstory is being reconstructed. Thank you, because it really was being contradicted by the Sonic 2 movie. Like I myself said here, and then Romeo replied, "Thank you, Romeo. Thank you for understanding." Some stuff I saw from Romeo on Twitter that I wanted to talk about. Furnace is way too strong. Yeah, that's the point. Furnace should not be a weak bucket of bolts that can be soloed by his own targets. But that doesn't mean he always wins either. He does lose in Modern Story a lot. That's why Starve upgraded him to be as OP as he is now. You can have this happen, but you can have this happen. But it should be something like Starve collecting data from the Mobian / animals around and then implementing them into Furnace. Again, that's just Neo Metal Sonic plot, but that's like the only way I can see Furnace properly standing a chance, rather than just all evil brute force, evil 900 IQ, which is not cool. I don't like the writing with Prey. That's okay. I try to make some things unique compared to the old FNF version while still squeezing in the nods for fun. With everything else, I can't agree. Not until it's fully out to the wiki I plan to create for Modern Starved. See, I would say I can't criticize the story if it's not fully out yet or done, but what I'm trying to do is state my gripes that have been shown before this story gets completed. So when it gets completed, it can be the best it can possibly be. Rather than just, oh, you get the entire story, right? And it ends up being shit because it's just Goku versus children. Goku versus middle schoolers. Robot Goku, mind you. So that's why I made the initial first video. I wanted for some changes to happen before this story gets finished. So again, the final product can be as good as it can be. Furnace is all aura and no character. He's a robot. He's not meant to have any real depth or character outside of hunting, killing, and cooking for Starved. His ego of destroying similar prototype to him is very situational, to the point where it's not deemed as characteristic. Reading is hard, okay? Again, this to me doesn't make sense because you showed him through the entirety of Modern Prey for him to have arrogance, confidence, loyalty, what else? Intelligence. I wouldn't say wicked behavior, but it's more so threats. I don't know how you can put that as a personality. Threatening, I guess? So I feel like this shows character throughout the entirety of Modern Prey. And again, like I said, you can make him have character, and it would be much cooler than brainless hunting, killing robot that is made for Starved. And Starved doesn't do anything, he just sits around and waits for Furnace to bring him stuff. And when occasionally Furnace gets damaged, he just repairs him and boom, go my chud son. Forgot to mention this in the video, but regarding the Nazo issue, the problem isn't that the character is strong. People love Nazo, Silkadoom, Aeon, all those characters because it fully embraces being hype moments in aura. It's not something that tries to take itself way too seriously. It's literally a DBZ Sonic fanboy wet dream, come on. But the issue with Modern Furnace is that it tries to be scary and serious and it just feels like a joke. You can't really tie absurdity into such a serious story and expect nobody to make fun of it. Like, robot with 900 IQ is 5 arcs ahead of everyone in power. You get what I'm trying to say. Alright, that's something I just wanted to add. Let's move on. Sneak Merchant. Probably the most cope term I've ever heard on Furnace. It's funny to me because there's nothing wrong with characters utilizing stealth. Yeah, that's fine. But I just don't like the way it was done. You can definitely make this character utilize stealth. But Sonic would hear Furnace blasting at full speed ahead of him. He would know Furnace is still around because after the boss fight in Sega Sonic Origins for Modern Prey, so he would still be on guard. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but again, you can make stealth work, but it needs to be really done right. And I don't think that's happening with Furnace because look at this guy. You think this guy can be stealthy? He's hot as hell. Not I'm sure people would feel his presence because of how boiling hot this guy is. And also his loud ass footsteps or flight that he would have. I don't think this character can move in a way for him to be sneaky. And that's why I think you can have Starved be the stealth one. If you really, really want to go for the stealth approach. Unless you also think that you can make Furnace have a stealth mode that Starved gave him. But again, it doesn't make sense to me because at the beginning of Modern Prey, Furnace could have just killed Sonic at that point. If he really wanted to, with the whole stealth mode idea I have. And I'm sure Sonic would get caught off guard more if it was from behind rather than in front. And yeah, I understand Sonic was looking back, but I'm sure you can see with like a glimpse of your eye, or hear at least, that someone is in front of you. All cutscenes in OM. Yes, the modern project is only 4 months old, so there is not much public reference at the moment. Also, why is this in general even a problem? People complain about modern being OM reliant, and it gets high quality separate content. It's an issue now. I really don't know what to say about that. I'm glad the character is getting more content, but I feel like it needs to be, again, done right. Modern Prey ending was a cop-out. Okay, Romeo agrees, so I can't really dissect this or say anything I have about it. Because he just completely agrees. Romeo, do you think Furnace wins against modern Sonic? No, not past Adventure. Neo Furnace, though, yeah. I'm glad we have some power ceiling, because oh my god. Whew. Before it looked real rough. But even so, not past Adventure. Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic losing is... Oh man. Whatever. I'll just let Romeo cook. With the modern star being topic, I'm retconning some things. Like instead of classic characters, it's early modern characters. But everything still takes place in CD. Think of it like OM designs being mixed with modern and classic. Okay, so what I am gonna assume this is design preference. Because if it's anything other than design preference, oh man, it doesn't fucking work. I feel like even Tails would beat his ass, Furnace's ass, like really hard. Because in CD, Eggman can't lock in that hard. He hasn't experienced the... Pretty sure he said this for dialogue reasons as well. But the classic characters talk in the OVA. That's an example of them talking. Again, I know it's an OVA, it's not official game material. But you can still use it as reference of the characters talking. And that's classic Sonic, classic Knuckles, and classic Tails in there. And also, even at some point, Metal Sonic. Who actually never talks, by the way, other than his Neo form. And a tiny bit in Sonic CD. Has Starved ever went through prototype versions of Furnace? Yes. Okay, that's good. Development. What would Furnace think of his other variants? Mecha Sonic, Silver Sonic, Robot Sonic, Metal, etc., etc. See them as disrespectful imposters who he destroy on sight even if Starved doesn't want him to. What would happen if Furnace got his hands on an emerald? Gulp. Alright. So this took a few... So this question was a few months back, so I'm not going to criticize it because, again, Romeo said it's just very situational. But I feel like you could see this or put this as an actual crucial story element. Furnace is afraid of being replaced by Eggman and doesn't want to be replaced. Therefore, he destroys those creations that Starved is building, for example. He wants to be the only servant for Eggman. Yeah, man, he has daddy issues. Fuck. I feel like you could put as a character idea for this character to have and want recognition from his master, which would be also a flaw, because if Eggman would like bash him for something, it would just crush the little guy. It would just crush him. And then when he sends him out to fight, he's not nearly as motivated anymore or something. And that gets him clobbered up a little bit. And then he retreats. And then Starved upgrades him and you know, yada yada. And then Furnace tries to be like, okay, it won't happen again. And then you can also have this character beat this fear, if that makes sense. Like conquer it. He doesn't have the fear of being replaced anymore because he's sure that Eggman wouldn't replace him. He doesn't need to. He's his finest creation. He's his greatest creation. And that makes him lock in more when he's fighting. And again, more arrogance like, I am Doctor's finest creation. You will not stop me. And he just fucking eradicates Tails like a flamethrower hand or something. Alright. That is everything I wanted to talk about this character. And I remade this video again because I feel the other one was very unprofessional and didn't get the point across that I wanted to get. I feel like this was more of actual constructive criticism because I gave negatives, I gave pros, and I gave stuff I think for ideas would work or some changes. Rather than the previous one, which was kind of just bashing the character without really saying what you could do. I mean, I did say some stuff you could change, but I didn't make it nearly as obvious as I did it in this video. And man, I have to say, this project has inspired me and my friends to make our own take on Modern Starved and Furnace. I'm gonna talk more about that later in a different video, but the name of our series isn't just like Starved and Furnace retake, it's called Boundless Hunger. We have a Twitter account regarding this story and what we plan to make so far. So if you're interested, you can go follow that. We will try to update you guys as much as we publicly can. And this story will have chapters of a comic. It will have branched timelines, a good future and a bad future, for example, true ending, best ending, you know, stuff like that. But it won't be as, the branched timelines won't be as big of a priority as the main timeline. So the writing might not feel as, I wouldn't say as good, but it wouldn't feel as compelling. Like I said, I'll have a video regarding this topic and me talking about it more in depth and more stuff that I can reveal publicly. I just want to let you guys know that Romeo inspired me and my friends greatly to make our own take on this character. And no, this is not a fuck you, Romeo, I can do better than you thing. It's more of a I want to try my own take on this character and see what people think. Hope you guys can understand that this video was not a hate video and it's just me giving my criticism and stuff I think that could be and maybe should be changed. Again, it comes down to if Romeo wants to change his story, I can't really tell him what to do because he can just do whatever he wants. But I'm just pointing out some flaws that I see in this that could be solved for this story to have a perfect outcome. Memory. And when I say perfect outcome, I don't mean, oh, a good ending. I just mean the writing is good, it's compelling, it's fun to read, it's interesting, the characters are very dynamic. Alright, I've said everything I wanted to say in this video regarding this character, and I will be out now. See you guys in like, I don't know, 10 years when I upload again, because my upload schedule is really rough, man. It's really rough. Alright. See you guys. Love you.
Romeo unblocked me and removed the IQ fee entirely from Furnace and is rewriting him.
Damn! Romeo glow up?
Legit.
Damn, no way!
We stay winning.
Thank God!
I am absolutely sure that I'm the reason everyone started clowning on Furnace. And because of me, everyone else followed in my footsteps and realized he's not done well. I'm the original one. Me! I'm the one who changed Modern Furnace. Me!